And now, here's Last Call with your host, B.J. Edwards.
Good morning, brothers and sisters in Christ and fellow Earth travelers. Along with Mr. Anderson and Honor Mama Jeannie, you're listening to your Last Call, 2 hours of Christian talk radio with a sting. Brought to you by the Natural Family Foundation. As goes the family, so goes the nation. Our call-in number, if you wish to participate, is 614-423-4220. Our show can be accessed on the mmunited.org website if you've happened upon us by chance. I'm your host, B.J. Edwards, and this is my world. What's left of it. My goodness. What a morning. Mr. Anderson will be with us this morning. As a matter of fact, Mr. Anderson, can you hear us? He's RJE this morning. Okay. And I hope you can hear us well on the show. Let me know if there's any issues. There's a sucker born every minute is a phrase often credited to showman P.T. Barnum, who was a 19th century entertainer, politician, by the way. It's generally taken to mean that there are always, or always will be, a lot of gullible people in the world. And please keep that in mind as we discuss religion, sex, politics, P.T. Barnum's version, I guess, and the weather. We're going to have a special guest, Larry Richardson from Stab, with us. Our hope is to take a common sense approach, perhaps an eye-opening approach, to the distraction of today's helter-skelter world. And by the way, don't forget our new call-in number. If you'd like to talk to myself or to our guest, use 302-202-1110. Then put in conference code 745353. And we're hoping that this will make it easier for you, especially those that have tried to call in before and couldn't get in because the line was full. Saturday morning means last call with myself and Mr. Anderson, who is RJE this morning, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon. Please be sure, if you have not already, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you won't miss another program. We don't normally start our program with an advertisement. Now sit tight. But the following is not only a sales pitch, but a public service announcement, all rolled into one. Have you noticed all the scams on the internet? There are so many of them. There's hope. All you need to do is to send us $19.95 here at Last Call, and we'll tell you how to avoid them. Helter-skelter, I mentioned that earlier. Undue haste, confusion, or disorder. Confused, hurried, marked by lack of order or plan. You think of Charles Manson when you think of helter-skelter. At least I do. By the way, have you looked into Charles Manson's home life? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Talk about helter-skelter. Adjectives? Cursory, drive-by, flying, hasty, headlong, hurried, over-hasty, pell-mell, precipitate, rash, rushed. It doesn't mean deliberate. It doesn't mean unhurried. And it doesn't mean unrushed. So strap yourself in today, folks. And here we go. And first on our agenda, after much prayer over conversations with his wife, Representative Bill Flores, Republican from Texas, on Wednesday became the latest House Republican to announce plans to retire at the end of this current term, saying he wants to spend more time with his family and resume private sector business activities. Flores, elected in 2010, is now the 15th member of the House Republican caucus, 5 of them from Texas, to announce a resignation, retirement, or plans to run for another office next year. By contrast, only 3 Democrats have announced plans to voluntarily exit the chamber, which their party currently controls. You got to wonder what this means. Or does it mean anything? Speaking of dropping out, I think we mentioned this on the show, Howard Schultz announced his presidential aspiration. That's what we announced on the show. Well, according to Mike Huckabee, former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz announced Friday morning that he is officially abandoning his exploration of a possible independent run for president. You know your presidential bid isn't going well when the first solid decision you make is to announce that you're quitting. That's a pretty good decision, by the way. We're losing a good candidate. Then there's the CNN's 7-hour climate change town hall. No, P.T. Barnum wasn't there in person, but his spirit sure was. And speaking of shams, Schumer demands free health care for illegals. Walmart. Retreat on guns means woke capitalism is here to stay, right? Dems propose first gun grab since Lexington and Concord. Then there's this from Houston. A woman with concealed handgun shoots man during robbery attempt. She'll probably get sued. And yeah, we'll have to hear from the left coast. San Francisco Board of Supervisors voted to declare the NRA a domestic terrorist organization. And don't you wonder what James Comey is doing today? Red meat, plastic straws, air travel, free health care for the world, offshore drilling, light bulbs that don't make you look like a cadaver, fracking, nuclear power, gasoline-powered cars, having babies, natural gas, coal, oil, coal-burning power plants, carbon-free planet, farms, no borders, no language, no liberties, free everything. Bans on airliners and bans on flatulent cows. You know, I think Bernie Sanders said it best. When it comes to any Democrat that is elected to the presidency in 2020, when talking about free everything for everybody, Bernie said, there might be some pain here. Yep. Book reveals how Chinese intelligence steals U.S. tech secrets to dominate the world. And man, the Bahamas. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is something absolutely crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't know which one I've got up here. I think I've got 2 on that. I was talking about P.T. Barnum earlier. It's going to kind of lead into our conversation with Larry. Phineas Taylor Barnum was born in Bethel, Connecticut. He was a 19th century showman, politician, author, and business owner. He's remembered best for celebrating hoaxes and for founding the Barnum and Bailey Circus. He did have several businesses over the years, by the way, including a general store, a book accounting trade, real estate speculation, and a newspaper. The newspaper was called the Herald Freedom. It was in Danbury, Connecticut. His editorials against the elders of a church led to libel suits and a prosecution which resulted in imprisonment for 2 months. He sold his store in 1834 and moved to New York City because lotteries were banned. So he moved to New York. He began his career as a showman in 1835 when he was 25 with the purchase and exhibition of a blind and almost completely paralyzed slave woman named Joyce Heth, whom an acquaintance was trumpeting around Philadelphia that she was George Washington's former nurse and actually 161 years old. Slavery was already outlawed in New York, but he exploited a loophole which allowed him to leave her for a year, lease her for a year for $1,000. P.T. Barnum. By the way, he served 2 terms in the Connecticut House and spoke before the legislature concerning the ratification of the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution, which abolished slavery and involuntary servitude. A human soul, he quotes, that God has created and Christ died for is not to be trifled with. It may tenant the body of a Chinaman, a Turk, an Arab, or a Hottentot. I'm not on? Okay. Well, hang on, folks. I'm not on. What have I done wrong here? Encoded, mic on. All right. There. That's for that. And that's on there. I don't know why we're not broadcasting. Mr. Anderson, are we broadcasting on your end? I cannot hear you. Okay. My technical assistant here says we're not broadcasting.
No, my cell phone, you're not. Let me try it again.
I've got 2 up, encoding, 4 and 7 encoding. The mic is on. You know what? I'm not seeing. I don't have the mic. I'm not seeing the sound waves on the board.
Unless you're using a different number.
Yeah, number 4 encoder is on. There it is. I didn't have the lock on. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I do. Now I'm looking for my phone. It's over there. Hang on a second. Yes, we are. Let's see. I've got this. I'm going to have to put you on the air. And which one puts you on the air, Kevin? Do I have you on the air? Do I have you on the air, Mr. Anderson? That's the mic. So that's working. I have no idea what's going on here. That's on. Can you hear me, Mr. Anderson? Hang on, Kevin. I'm barely hearing you. Let's do this.
Now I'm hearing you.
Now you're hearing me? Okay. I can't hear Kevin, and I should be able to hear him. Put you on the air and take this off. That should be okay. Should be off. Mr. Anderson, can you hear me on the air? on. I don't know.
I can hear you now.
You can? But I don't know whether I can get Kevin on this, because I've got the guest coming in. But I cannot hear Kevin.
You want me to put him on my phone?
Do you have Kevin's number? Call him, see what's going on. Well, I can't catch him. Folks, I appreciate your patience with us. We're having some technical difficulties here this morning. That should be plugged in. Kevin's talking, but I can't hear him. Why can't I hear him? I don't know why I can't hear. He just hung up. So I don't know.
Hey, Kevin, it's Janet. Hey, here's Jim, okay?
Well, Kevin, could you hear me on the air? But I couldn't hear you. When you were trying to talk on the conference line, I couldn't hear you.
Are you plugged into the board?
I think so. Where'd you plug it in at? I just went with the plug that you had. I assume it's plugged in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where's it going at? No, I got the one in the phone. I plugged that in.
You got your Bluetooth off?
Yeah. Let me double check on Bluetooth. Kevin, it's off.
You're plugged in, the phone is plugged in,
Right.
your volume is up.
Yep.
Checking what I can on my end. Says we're broadcasting. So, you're expecting Larry to call any moment now.
Yeah. Didn't want that. Dang it. Get out of there.
That's dead air here. I don't hear anything on that.
Well, I'm not really talking. I'm not really saying anything other than talking to you.
Okay. Got a lot of dead air space here.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Okay, yeah, you're broadcasting live now. Jim is fine. I'm gonna call back on the conference.
Okay, okay.
Make the contact.
I should go. Okay, he hung up. Do you need me to stay down here?
Yeah. Hey, Larry,
Yeah,
we're having technical difficulties.
I had a hard. I've been calling that number.
I know.
Website, it's not working.
don't know what's going on. Got a couple technical problems. Let me get back with you. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll let you know what to do. I'm sorry about that.
All right. Okay, I should be connected to my call.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
That's good.
I don't know. I can't see you coming in. I mean, I see you in there, but I don't. When you talk, it doesn't register. Go ahead and say something, Kevin.
Well, I will say something.
Okay.
Well, it's a glorious morning. It's beautiful in Ohio.
See,
I'm calling.
yeah. Hang on a second.
Buckeyes are playing the Cincinnati Bearcats this afternoon. Go Bearcats.
Can you hear Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
I got to get Larry to call back in. Larry, if you can hear me, call back in on the 302-202-1110 line. And we'll try this. This is incredibly interesting this morning. Incredibly interesting. Can't bring that up. Again, Larry, if you can hear us, please call back. What's going on here? Yeah. Let me see. 28. I'm not hearing anything. Not hearing anything. Can you hear me, Larry? Look, folks, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're just not going to be able to complete this today. There's too many technical difficulties going on. Have to do it next week if you can hear in. I'm sorry. Just too many technical difficulties. We're signing off.